The following is a presentation of the False Starters League.
Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to the final week of the regular season here in the False Starters League. Most of our playoff spots have already been locked up, however, not all of them are, as well as there could be a lot of shuffling throughout the league as far as where you end up in what spot in your bracket. So let's take a look at the league standings to see what needs to be done today. As you take a look at our standings, you can see that Team SAC is absolutely dominating the winner's bracket portion, which will in fact lead to more points towards our total team standings. However, there is an interesting battle going on today between Matt and Pat that could potentially change all of that. Matt is really the best one with a chance from the loser's bracket side right now to hop into the winner's bracket side. It could happen, but there's a lot of shuffling that can be done. Cody and Jay are still battling for the number one overall seed and a bye. Also in the loser's bracket, the 8 seed does get a bye, so it is important to finish at the top of the loser's bracket standings as well. So there's a lot of things that can be done today. And for a closer look at that, let's take a look at this week's matchups. Our first matchup today between these two brothers really has no consequence on the winner's bracket. However, there could be a lot of shuffling done as far as where they'll end up in the loser's bracket, as well as they just don't want to lose to each other. Ryan and Sean have had some tough seasons here, but it's not over yet. There's still a lot of points that can be had, and this is a ball versus sack matchup as well, so important for standings here in week 14. Our second matchup is a big one, and it's a big one for Parker because there is a chance that if he were to lose, he could get jumped. He's got the lowest amount of points scored in the winner's bracket. If he were to end up in a tie with Matt, he could potentially get jumped and fall into the loser's bracket side. So a big matchup for Parker. Conroy has been fighting this year, and he could potentially do some damage in the loser's bracket and secure a team victory for Team SAC. This matchup is really all about seeding for Johnny. There's really not much Logan can do to catch anyone in the loser's bracket, so he's going to be that bottom seed going into the playoffs next week. But Johnny would really like to stay in that 3 seed and avoid Nicola and Jay for as long as possible. He can't jump anybody as far as getting into that 1 or 2 seed, but he's got to try and hold that number 3 seed for the playoffs next week. Obviously, our next matchup, Jay's got a lot on the line here today. A first-round bye would be humongous for what has been the best team in the league this year. Probably a well-deserved first-round bye, but if he were to lose this week, Cody could jump him, and he could fall to the number 2 seed despite all he's done this year. So Jordan Christian has a really good team. It could certainly be done today. Jordan's got a lot to fight for. He could possibly jump to that number 8 seed in the loser's bracket and get a bye himself. So a lot to play for this week for these two. Our next matchup features the Commissioner versus Casey Pierce, and the Commissioner's obviously fighting for that number 1 seed if he were to win today and Jay were to lose, so a big matchup for him. And Pierce is fighting for that number 8 playoff seed, and he could technically, if he had a monster week, sneak in, but it would take an all-time great week from Pierce to sneak into the winner's bracket. I suppose it could happen, but he's got so many guys out with bye weeks and injuries, I don't see how that's possible, but you never know. If not for the importance of the next matchup, this would have been our game of the week because it is a polish on a pole match. Who will polish who's sack today in week 14 of the regular season? These guys fighting for the 3 seed and fighting to see whose sack will get polished today in week 14. This is our game of the week. This is without a doubt our game of the week. Matt and Pat fighting for the 7th and final spot in the winner's bracket this week in week 14. You couldn't ask for a better matchup here. Both teams healthy, both teams ready to go, nobody on bye week. What a great matchup for our final spot in the playoffs in week 14. By the way, guys, it probably wouldn't hurt if you put on the luckiest Chief shirt that you had because they make their final stand here today in week 14. They got to have it at home Sunday Night Football. Go Chiefs. Don't forget to set your lineups. And as always, happy fantasy football.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the False Starters League.